There's an argument in the marketplace and some people who believe that real estate wholesaling is a scam, that real estate wholesalers are scam artists. Now, on this video, I want to break down when that is actually true and when it's not true. And this is an important video if you're a wholesaler because you also need to get your mindset around how to work with distressed sellers where you're not taking advantage of them. So this is a video you don't want to miss.
Go to warmleadsdaily.com to get exclusive, warm leads sent to you daily. These leads are ready to go and want a cash offer on their property. Hurry, spots are limited. Go to warmleadsdaily.com now to claim your leads.
There is only one situation where wholesale real estate is a scam, where wholesalers are scamming sellers. And two things have to be present for this to take place. First, the seller has to be incapacitated. They have to not be of sound mind. What I mean by that is incapable of making a decision around selling their property. Somebody elderly with dementia, somebody who has no concept of the value of their property. Maybe they don't even have a computer, somebody that isn't aware of signing documents. They're just not in a place where they have a sound mind and they're able to make a capable decision about selling their property. That has to be present. The second thing that has to be present is a wholesaler has to be misleading, misinforming, or outright lying about the value, about the property, about what's going on. Those two things would have to be present. If a wholesaler is honest and ethical, then he would never take advantage of a seller who's not of sound mind. So both those things have to be present, not of sound mind and a dishonest, unethical wholesaler. If those two things come together, then certainly wholesale real estate could be a scam. But by and large, identifying the strategy or the industry of wholesale real estate as a scam or real estate wholesalers are scam artists, that's like saying all lawyers are bad, all contractors are bad, all real estate agents are bad. No, some are and some aren't. There's a way to operate honestly and ethically, and there's a way not to. But let's go back now to a bigger picture mindset that is prevalent in wholesaling. And that is around this idea that if a wholesaler contracts at a discount with a seller in distress, that by nature of contracting below market value, that wholesaler is taking advantage of the seller and is scamming. That somehow if a seller is leaving equity on the table, that if the wholesaler is contracting below that value and now there's equity that the seller is not realizing, that somehow that seller is being taken advantage of. And I'm going to prove that that is absolutely not true. In 2026, every single seller in the marketplace knows how to get an approximate value of their property, and that is on Zillow. Zillow gives a zestimate or an estimated value of their property. And the stats on the accuracy of Zillow are staggering. It used to be somewhat of a joke, but now they've gotten so good at the data and the algorithm that they can estimate the value of a property within about 10% or less in accuracy. So a seller can go onto Zillow, they can look at the estimated value of their property on Zillow, and they can know more or less, maybe it'd sell for more, maybe it'd sell for less, but they have a very good idea on the approximate value of their property. What that means then is it means if a seller of sound mind ever sells below that Zillow number, knowingly, willingly, they are giving up that equity and they are selling at a discount for a reason, whatever reason it might be. They are knowingly doing that. And when two people consent to contract and do a transaction, that is not taking advantage of somebody, regardless of the situation and regardless of the price or the discount. It does not matter. Let me illustrate this by telling a story. Have you ever traded in a car at a dealer? You know, you go in, maybe you're buying a new car and you trade in your old car. Okay, now everybody who's ever traded in a car, they know that the trade-in value that they're getting at the dealer is less than market value. Every single time they know that because they understand that the dealer's got to buy it at a discount and resell it to move that car and make money. Why else would they be doing it? Let's play out a scenario. Let's say that you have a used car that you want to trade in and you go to the dealer and the retail value of that car is, let's say, $10,000. You know that anything below $10,000 is going to be a wholesale price, And you know that that dealer is probably going to give you less than the retail value so that they can resell it and make some money. So you know that you're going in there. You also know that you could get more money if you wanted. You could list it on Facebook Marketplace, have people come and look at it. You could actually maybe put on new tires, maybe fix it up, maybe paint it, maybe get rid of the dent on the bumper. You could add value to get more money for your car. You know you could do these things, but you trade it in anyway for speed and convenience. That's why you do that. Now, is that car dealer a scam because they bought it below value? Well, some people would say, well, it depends. It depends on the price. Okay, so you know that they're taking a discount. You go in there and let's play this out. Let's say that the value is $10,000, right? And let's say that the car dealer offers you $9,000 for your car. Were you scammed? Most people would be like, no, $1,000, that's fair. Okay, what about $8,000? That's okay. What about $7,000 maybe? What if they offer you $1,000 for your trade-in on a $10,000 car and you say yes, and you're of sound mind and you say yes? Were you scammed? Were you scammed? Did that car dealer scam you? Some people would say yes, you were scammed. That is not true because you know that you could go somewhere else. Maybe you go to other dealers and see what they'll give you on trade-in value. If you're willing to do more work, you can get more money in every single situation, every single time. You know that. So if you say, you know what, screw it, I'll take the $1,000. I don't feel like going to other dealers. I don't feel like dealing with it anymore. And I'm going to just take the $1,000 and run. Were you scammed? No. Does it matter the reason? No. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. People get all hung up on like, well, if the reason is reasonable, then it's not a scam. It doesn't matter if you're of sound mind. Let's say the dealer didn't tell you the value. They just said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Was that a scam? No, because whose responsibility is it to understand the value of the thing you're selling? You, seller. It's your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. And who decides how much profit for the car dealer or the wholesaler is too much? Do you decide what's too much profit? Who decides that? Let me give you another example. I had a family member once tell me that my house I bought here in East Tennessee, it's like 10,000 square feet. They said 10,000 square feet is too much square feet. Nobody should own a house that's 10,000 square feet. That's unreasonable. It's exorbitant. It's too much. Okay, well, who decides how big of a house is too much? Is 8,000 square feet okay? Is 5,000 square feet okay? Who's the moral authority on how much square footage somebody should have? Is it you? Is it me? No, we live in a free market society. If two willing parties agree, then that is consenting and there was a fair transaction, regardless of the reason or regardless of the price. It does not matter. Okay, let's go back to wholesale real estate. So look at this beautiful brick home right here. Zillow says that the value is $444,300. Okay, now let me ask you a question. If the seller was smart enough to buy this house, look how beautiful this house is. If he had the capacity to buy this house and nothing's happened, he's still of sound mind. Do you think he has the capacity to sell this house? Somehow he bought it. He was smart enough to buy it. Do you think he's smart enough to sell it? I would say yes, as long as he's of sound mind. And he is. This seller is of sound mind. He agreed to contract it for all cash, close quickly, for $322,000. Okay, so we just purchased this property for $322,000. Did we scam this seller? Now, some people would say, well, it depends. Is he in foreclosure? Is it this or that? Was there some sort of distress? Does it matter what the reason is? There's no bearing on the transaction, whatever the reason is. Now, I can give you a very good reason why he did it. There is a reason why he's about to go to jail. Okay, he doesn't have time. He doesn't want to list it with a real estate agent and go through showings, appraisals, inspections, financing. Doesn't want to deal with all that. He just wants a sure thing. He wants speed and convenience. He agreed for $322,000. That's irrelevant though. Like, I don't need to justify myself. We made an offer. He said yes. That's all that matters. Does this seller know that he's leaving money on the table? Does he know that there's equity in this property? Does he know that he's walking away from the equity? Well, of course he knows. He has a computer, he has a phone, and he knows that there's Zillow. He knows he can look this up right now and say, I could get somewhere in the range of 444,000, maybe more, maybe less, but somewhere around there. So if I start talking to investors, it's like I'm going into the dealer. I know that I'm going to be selling at a discount. It's up to the seller to determine how much of a discount he's willing to take. If he doesn't like the discounted offers he's getting from investors, what can he do? He can get more offers until he finds someone that's willing to pay more. He could list it with a real estate agent. That would sell it for more. He could fix it up. That would help him sell it for more. He's got options. No one has put a gun to his head and said, you have to sell it for $325,000 to Jerry and get scammed. No one is doing that. Now, the reason why I'm really harping on this, the reason why this is so critically important to understand is because not only do some people misunderstand wholesale real estate, there's this idea out there that a seller cannot transact without a real estate agent. Real estate agents tell me this all the time. A real estate agent is going to give you what's called a CMA, a comparable market analysis. They're basically going to comp the property and they're going to say, this is what your property's worth. Okay. Now, a real estate agent does that as part of what they do as a job. An appraisal is going to actually give you something much more solid. They're certified to do appraisals and they're going to go look at the market and they're going to give you a value based on your property, its condition, and so on. Some people are of the belief that a seller does not have the ability or the capacity to sell his property without those two things, either a real estate agent or an appraiser to help them understand the value. First of all, it's none of their business what a seller does. A seller has the freedom to sell whatever he wants to sell at whatever price he wants to sell it. That's one. And two, it's actually not true. Every single seller can look at Zillow and get a fairly good idea. Now, if they want more accurate, if they want to pinpoint it down to a more solid number, then they can certainly go deeper and comp it and get an appraisal if they want. But it's an absolute falsehood to say that a seller has no idea what his house is worth and a wholesaler just comes in there and steals it out from under them, and the seller doesn't know that that's happening, that they don't know that it's worth $445,000. They have no idea. The biggest lie ever, because sellers aren't stupid. They know how to look up quickly and determine what their value is. And they can go on realtor.com and see a number. They can go on redfin.com, they can see a number. It's easy to get a fairly good idea of the value of your property. The reason why this is so significant is because I was on a coaching call the other day with one of my students in my coaching program. We were talking about his offer. And he made a statement. In passing, talking about his deal, he said, I don't want to take advantage of the seller because if I do, God will strike me down. He made some reference like that. And I said, whoa, let's stop right now. Because there is a very detrimental mindset here taking place with this wholesaler that is going to sabotage his success. And that is, again, this belief that if I make too much money, I'm somehow taking advantage of the seller. I can make a certain amount of money, more than that, and now I'm scamming somebody. Okay, so I said to him, you have a responsibility to get the biggest discount you possibly can. You owe that to yourself, to your family, to your company, to your employees, to get the biggest deal you can. Okay, that's your responsibility, to make as much money as you can. That's your job. That's what we're in the business to do, make as much as we possibly can. Now, if we're dealing with a seller of sound mind, it is their responsibility to determine what they do with your offer, whether they take it or they don't take it. That's their responsibility. And it's not your business if they agree or not. Your job is to make the offer with the margins that you want. So what I do is I follow a low anchor process. I'm going to go in ridiculously low. I'm looking for a number so low that I'm absolutely certain the seller will say no. Then I'm going to say to that seller, well, that's my price in a perfect world, but how close to that can you get? And I'm going to go from their pie in the sky number or whatever number they're at and my absolute rock bottom number. And I'm going to try to get to a number that is the most I can possibly make on the deal and the least the seller will come down on the deal. That's my goal. That's my job with every single offer I make. It doesn't matter if I make $100,000. The seller has options. He could do something else. And if he agrees to sell it to me at that number, then that is a fair transaction. I did not rip anybody off. I did not scam anybody. I did a fair transaction with a seller. And that's how it goes. That is the real world. I don't know what world people live in, but we live in a free economy, a free market society where a transaction can happen between two parties that consent. And that's it. That's all you need to know. Do your job, make the offers, and let the seller decide what they're going to do. Now, again, I want to harp on this again. If you're a wholesaler, it is absolutely critical that you do not mislead, that you do not misinform, and that you have full transparency, that you explain what's going on. Where you become a scammer as a wholesaler is if you're misleading, misinforming, and you're not transparent about what you're doing. Be honest. Tell the seller exactly what's going on. I have in my contract a profit disclosure in all my contracts with sellers. And this disclosure, this paragraph and this clause in my contract, it says in there, seller, you understand that I am in the business of making money. I'm buying your property at a discount so that I can turn around and resell it for a profit. And my goal is to make as much money as I possibly can. Do you understand that, seller, that that's what I'm doing? Great. I thought so, because why else would we be talking? But I just want to make sure that you're clear on this. I'm trying to buy this property for as low as I possibly can so I can make the biggest profit I possibly can. Whatever you're doing, that's on you. Okay. I'm offering you speed and convenience and to get this transaction done. If that appeals to you, then let's do a deal. If it doesn't and you have other options and you want to explore those options, by all means, go for it. I would do the same thing if I were you too. And that's what you need to understand. If you don't grasp that concept, you don't fully embrace it, then as a wholesaler, every time you do deals, you're going to feel icky. You're going to feel gross. You're going to feel like, oh man, I just made 20 grand. Somehow I took advantage of somebody. And you're not going to show up. You're not going to have the right attitude about this. And honestly, you're not going to help very many people. The more money I make in my wholesale business, the more I can reinvest into marketing, into growing my business, the more people I can help, the more deals I can do. I am all about serving and helping people. We did a deal, Mark Gabriel and I, where they were in pre-foreclosure. The auction date was right up against the clock. To get the whole deal paid off, to pay the back taxes, back payments, pay off the loan with the bank, to save this person from foreclosure, the highest paying buyer that we could find in the market was a negative $4,000, meaning $4,000 needs to come to the table to get this deal done and save the seller from foreclosure. And Mark came to me and he said, Jerry, are you okay if we front the $4,000? I'd love to help this person out. We're having a great month. We're having a great year. Is it okay if we just write a check for $4,000 to get this deal done and help this seller? And I said to Mark, I said, absolutely, Mark, let's do it. And we saved somebody from foreclosure, and it cost us $4,000 to do so. Why? Because we want to give, we want to serve, we want to bless. Now, obviously, we can't do that every single day, every single time, or we'd be out of business. Because we strive to make healthy profits and to make money in our business, we can do things like that. We give back. My point here with this is that you need to start trusting that sellers are going to make their own decisions. Your job is to put offers in front of them and make as much as you can. So long as you're being honest, you're being forthcoming, you're being truthful, you're not making stuff up or misinforming, lying, cheating. You're being transparent and honest about what you're doing. And the sellers of sound mind make as much money as you possibly can on deals. Now, if you disagree with me, I would love to hear your reasoning behind it. Leave a comment and tell me if you agree with that. Also, leave a comment and tell me what resonates with you, if this was helpful, any questions you might have around this so that you can get your head clear around wholesale real estate. And I'll see you on the next video.